I've been sitting here for like 10 minutes just not even knowing how to start. It feels like it's been a long time since I've really sat down and like talked to you guys about just me. I'm gonna try to make this as short and concise as possible because I know that, you know, not a lot of people like, you know, videos where I'm talking about nothing. I've had people in the past like call me out, like, you can't just post videos talking about nothing and expect people to watch. So I'm like, okay. Hey, hi guys. How are we doing? So I disappeared for about a month off of YouTube. Maybe that doesn't seem like a while, maybe you didn't notice, but I had a few people message me looking to see how I was doing, what was going on. You know, I was just gonna post a normal video, but I'm like, that feels kind of weird. I kind of want to tell you guys a little bit of a story today and really emphasize the importance of being kind to strangers, or at the very least just maybe just not saying anything. Part of my little hiatus, my absence, was just very low mental health. I mean, I don't even know if you can tell by how I look. I feel like even my eyes have just looked so tired lately. I just feel like I don't even look like myself. I feel like I haven't felt like myself for probably about a month. I mean, it's mainly just been like a low, like I wake up and I'm tired and I just kind of go about my day and I kind of don't really do anything productive, and then the day ends and that's it. And that's really what it's been for like the past 3-4 weeks. I did have a week in there where I think I had something wrong with like my inner ear, allergy related. I had like swelling behind my ear and I was super dizzy. So that was a miserable week. I don't know if anybody else has ever experienced anything like that, but I've never had that happen. But anyway, back to my story. I know I get sidetracked a lot. I'm really sorry. The importance of being kind to strangers, and I posted something on Twitter that was like, be kind to every person you meet because everybody's fighting a battle you know nothing about. It was something like that. There was this one day I was just in a funk and I was going out for a walk. You know, there's just moments where you have like tears in your eyes, but you're not crying. You're kind of just like, if anybody says one thing, it's just gonna pour out. Like, that's how this felt. So I'm just walking and this man, he's there a lot because sometimes when I go walking, I just see him like out smoking. I've never said a single word to this guy. He kind of quiet, but very sarcastic sounding as I'm walking by says, "Hey, bitch." I didn't look, I didn't stop, I just was like, I don't know, I'm one of those people that when something weird happens, I can't really like react in the moment. I kind of lag, and it's like I process it over the course of a time. The point was, I was in a super depressive funk to the point where like I wasn't calling anyone, I didn't want to talk to anybody, I was just keeping to myself. I wasn't really eating as much. I've just been kind of like, that guy could have said nothing, right? He could have said absolutely nothing. And that would have been 1,000 times better than what he chose to say. You don't know what somebody is going through. You just don't. Just because somebody is not talking to you doesn't make them a bad person. This has been a fight I've had to fight my entire life as somebody that just doesn't talk to people. Like, I just don't. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not judging you. I don't think I'm better than you. I just like, I don't want to talk. I have nothing to say. If you're one of those kids that had other kids ask you, why are you so quiet? You can probably relate. I've had people my whole life think that I'm a certain way because I don't talk. Oh, I could go off on a whole rant. I did kind of go off on a bit of a Twitter rant about it. And I've had this with like elderly men, especially like in the workplace. There are these elderly men that think they're like entitled to attention from younger women. When they don't get it, that woman is a bitch. And it's like, you've done nothing. I don't know you. You're not entitled to a smile from me, for acknowledgement from me. Like, I'm just going about my life. I was going for a walk. I had spent that morning crying in my house alone, depressed. Like, what am I gonna do with my life? What is my life? This guy decided to make a judgment about me because I didn't give him the attention that he wanted. I guess my point is that every single person is dealing with something that you don't know about and you may never know about. To just assume that somebody is behaving a certain way because of an attitude problem, or they think they're better than you, or like, it's just like, just stop. I can't express it enough that I'm someone, I just mind my own business. I don't bother anybody. I don't want any problems. And then to just get that from a random person. The world has been so out of sorts for the past 2 months, and you would think that people would want to exert just a tad bit more kindness and understanding, but they don't. Like, it's almost as if it's gotten worse. Brandon told me about a time he was in the grocery store, was wearing a mask, walked past this lady in an aisle, and because he walked past her instead of waiting for her to move, she said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I didn't really want to get like heated, but it's just, there's very little compassion where there should be. We've all collectively been going through it. I don't know what this person's going through. Maybe this person lost their job. Maybe this person lost a loved one. Maybe this person's struggling mentally. Like, I don't know. On another note, another thing that has been kind of been getting me in a weird place is recently I was like reintroduced to this old box of home movies from my childhood, and I don't know if any of you have ever done this, but like looking through old childhood videos, it's such a trip. Like, it is bizarre. I was gonna do a video maybe sharing some of them with you guys and like letting you guys see a bit of me as a child. I did post a little clip of me on my Instagram that I thought was pretty funny, but I feel like I ran into this issue where there's a lot of people in those videos that I just don't feel comfortable showing. And I mentioned this, I did an Instagram live the other day. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but like, I'm estranged from like 90% of my family. And I don't want to cry about this. I really don't. I don't know. Like, I was excited to see like my home movies. To an extent, a lot of it is really good and I like seeing a lot of it, but there's other aspects of it that I'm just like, it feels like grief. I don't know. It's like I've just been like mourning these people that are still alive. Let this sink in. Like, some of my relatives live less than a half hour away from me, and I haven't seen them in over 10 years. And I don't know why I never talked about it. I mean, I guess I just felt like I didn't want to stir the pot. I didn't want the chance of them ever coming across it, but like, it's left me with a lot of like unanswered questions and hurt. So I've just been kind of like trying to navigate through that for these past few weeks. There's a lot that I've enjoyed seeing though. Like, I've liked seeing, you know, me with my mom and my siblings, especially like during quarantine. I feel like that's been a way that my family and I have really come together. But it's very mixed. It's a very mixed pool of emotion. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if I'd ever go into more depth about that. I mean, there's really not much else to be said. A lot of people have asked me like what I've been doing in quarantine to like fill my time. I started doing puzzles. My Nana gave me like an old puzzle that she had, and that took up like a week. I think it took me like a week to do it. When I woke up and I didn't really feel like doing much, I always found myself able to do a puzzle for some reason. So I mean, I think if you're struggling with that sort of aspect of like mental health and like motivation, I would recommend trying to do a puzzle, because it seems like something that's like, oh, I don't really feel like doing all this, but once you sit down and you put yourself there, it's kind of like mindless, and you can kind of just, you know, listen to music or watch a show and just do it. It was nice to feel like I was working toward a final result. Also, Brandon got me this necklace a few weeks ago, and it says, "You're my sunshine" inside. He surprised me with this one day when I was just not in my best headspace, and little things like that really just mean a lot. And I think he knows that I've sort of been struggling like with my self-esteem, and for me that like entails like my skin. And I feel like the internet can be really negative about it sometimes, which is something else where it's like I don't really want to be online, because sometimes I'll see people with like flawless skin and like I'm just like, Last night I said to Brandon, I'm like, I think I want to do a chemical peel, and he's like, oh, I already ordered you one. And I didn't really believe him. I'm like, but did he actually already order me one? And then today I go and check the door and there was a chemical peel. So maybe I'll do like a video about doing it and my experience with it and sort of just like vlogging the process, because that's also something that kind of scares me. I want to get back into my, I was gonna say productive. That's I want to get back into like my productive brainstorming and filming. I'm gonna film a video with Brandon hopefully this coming weekend. I don't know, I've also thought about doing like covers of songs, and I know that's really out of my element, although I did do like that SpongeBob cover the one time, but that's kind of weird. I feel like when I'm sad and I put on music I like and I just belt out and just sing and just, I don't care if it sounds good, I don't care if it's on key, that is such a release for me mentally. Also, oh my gosh, you guys will be proud of me. So it's kind of weird, but yesterday Brandon and I brainstormed this idea for like a children's book, and I've sort of began work on that. I couldn't even sleep last night because I was just so full of ideas for it. I want to do like watercolor artwork for it and like scan it to my computer and just like actually make like a full little book. I mean, I don't really know how to publish a book, but I'm sure I could look into it. But I'm like, this is such a good idea. I love bulldogs. It's about a bulldog. So that's been something that has sort of lifted my spirits even in the past day. You know, I'm coming back into myself, and also people have asked me if I have a new wedding date, and I do, but I'm gonna show you some DIY things I'm working on. I know I've been talking about this video concept for like 2 months. A lot of you guys contributed to my wedding wish list for things that I needed to DIY. That really helped me out a lot, and I was just like, I actually cried over, I was like, it really felt like, you know, everybody was trying to come together and do something nice for me, and I really appreciated that. Another part of my funk was that I was sort of down about my wedding being, I guess it was canceled, I guess you could say. I mean, I really made the move and canceled it myself. Everything has been closed, and even if everything were open in July, the wedding was supposed to be July 18th, even if everything were up and running and normal by July 18th, still, I haven't even been able to go get a dress, I haven't been able to plan anything, and a lot of our guests are flying in. You know, nobody has really been able to like book their flights or book hotels because everybody's just kind of apprehensive, like, I don't know what's gonna happen, so I don't really want that last minute pressure on people to travel either. I think I was really just down for a while because I was afraid to make the move with contacting the woman that's been helping me plan. You know, what if I reach out and I set a new date, but then what if it has to get moved again? And I just wasn't ready to face that rejection, I guess. I guess rejection is the word. I guess I felt like everything was just kind of going to shit, that I was just too afraid to make a move. But it has been moved to September. I hope you guys out there are all doing okay, and you know, I didn't want to like contribute to any negativity. I hope this video wasn't too negative. You know, I love you guys. You know, I know a lot of people say that their YouTube audience is like their family, but to me it really has been like an unconventional family that I sort of just stumbled upon. I just value this so much. You know, that's why when I get comments of like people criticizing me or saying that I've done something to disappoint them, that it like affects me deeper than I think it should. I just cherish people that cherish me. When I was in my funk, I didn't want to come on here and just bombard you guys with negativity and crying, even though I did cry a little bit, I'm sorry. I want to spread more positivity in the world where there's already so much ugliness. It is so important to be kind to strangers, and I feel like it's even important to be kind to your YouTube audience, because like, I don't know what you guys on the other side of the screen are going through at this current moment. You know, I feel like there's a time and a place for like pet peeves videos, rant videos, story time videos about my neighbor who drives me insane. But then I feel like there's times, especially when we were in a pandemic, I just didn't want to be more negative. And I think that's the bottom line. I just didn't want to bring anybody else down to the low that I was in. And I just urge all of you to spread kindness wherever you see that you can. That guy that called me a bitch, I mean, he didn't know what I was going through. I mean, at the same time, I don't even know what he was going through. Maybe he was having a bad day. I don't know. Whatever the case, a lesson that my mom has always taught me is to extend grace to people, where even if somebody mistreats you, consider like, where did that come from? Maybe they're hurting inside. I don't know. I will see you guys again real soon. Until then, panda hugs. Love you guys.